Hi guys, today I'll be showing you my version of cheese bread. We've got 8 grams of yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 60 grams of melted butter, half a cup of sugar, 3 and 3/4 cup of bread flour, 2/3 cup of warm milk, and 2/3 cup of warm water. So first thing we need to do is to activate the yeast. So I've got my warm water here. I added the 1 tablespoon of sugar, then stir it. Now I will add the yeast, which is 8 grams. Then we move on to the dry ingredients. Just combine it and give it a good stir. Then set this aside. Now I'm gonna be using my stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can use your hands to knead the dough. So moving on, I'm just gonna combine all my wet ingredients into my mixer. So that's the yeast mixture that has been activated, my melted butter, and the milk. It's important to always check the temperature of your wet ingredients. Make sure that they're at least at room temperature. If it's too hot, it will kill the yeast. So now we can start adding the flour mixture. At first I added about 3.5 cups of flour, but since this is a sweet dough, it's a little bit sticky, so I added 1/4 cup of bread flour. So in total, I added 3 and 3/4 cup of bread flour. But use your bread's judgment. If you see that your dough is too sticky to work with, then go put more bread flour. So continue kneading this for at least 8 minutes or until the dough is smooth and elastic. So after about 8 minutes, our dough is ready. Okay, this is a little bit sticky, but I can work with this. So I just added a little bit of oil into my glass bowl. This will prevent the dough from sticking to the glass bowl. So lightly knead your dough and form it into a ball. Then roll it into the oil. Now let this rest for about 1 hour to 2 hours or until the dough doubled in size. Cover it with cling wrap, of course. While the dough is resting, we're gonna move on to the cheese streusel. So I've got 1 and 1/4 cup of icing sugar, half a cup of flour, 2 cups of cheddar cheese or 130 grams, and 60 grams of butter. Combine the cheese or cheddar cheese. Again, this is 2 cups or 130 grams. Combine it with the icing sugar. If you see any lumps, just break it. Just like so. And then add the plain flour. which is half a cup. Then we can slowly add the butter. With the butter, when you melt it and before adding it to the streusel mixture, make sure that it's at room temperature or else it will melt the cheese and this mixture will be a sticky mess. One thing to remember. Okay, now at this point I will use my hands to fully mix the ingredients. I'm looking for a consistency of a wet sand here, which I'll show you what it looks like. So this is the texture that I'm looking for. We will set this aside and we're gonna move on to the cutting of our dough. So now the dough has doubled in size. We are ready to cut it. So I have a flour here, which I will lightly sprinkle into my work surface. Put a little bit of flour on the top as well. Then you can start dividing your dough. I divided my dough about 50 grams each, but it's up to you how big you want your cheese bread to be. So continue cutting until you finish up with all your dough. Here you go. Now we're gonna shape the dough. So just grab the ends of the dough and tuck it under. Then using your hands, just cup it and then roll the dough against your work surface until it becomes like a round shape. Okay. Now I've got extra melted butter in here, which I will grease the dough with. This will serve as a glue so the cheese streusel will adhere to the dough. Just like this, you just roll the dough into the cheese streusel. One more time. Okay, this is what it looks like. Now this step is really important. With a clean tea towel, just cover the bread and let it rest for at least 30 minutes. While it is resting, preheat the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. This is now ready for baking. Bake it at 180 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 25 minutes or until when you see the sides of the bread turns brown. And this is our finished product. I hope you give them a try and please let me know what you think. There's one catch with this bread. You can't eat it straight away. It has to rest overnight so that the cheese streusel will soften a bit and you will taste the cheese flavor. Because when you pull it out of the oven, the cheese streusel is so crunchy that you can hardly taste the flavor. So again, thank you for watching and I'll see you again next week. Bye!